All right, here we go. All right. Morning, everybody. Sorry about that little delay there. Had some technical difficulties, but we should be all good now. Yeah, everything's looking good. So welcome back to the channel. Soul Commodore here. Thank you for checking us out. Going to continue with this painting. We're going to do something a little fun. Like, we're going to keep working on details through the entire painting, but we're going to do something down here that should be pretty interesting. I think it'll be interesting. So, yeah, with that, let's get started. So we got our palette here. Hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday so far. It's been a quite a busy weekend for myself and my girlfriend. We were house sitting and dog sitting for a couple of friends who are coming back today, which is why I'm able to do this. And actually, they're pretty good dogs. Like, you can leave them alone for most of the day and they'll be fine. Yeah, that was fun. One of the highlights of the whole thing was they're both the people we were watching. Like my girlfriend and I, they were really into fitness. And they have an assault bike. And I have never used an assault bike before. So that was a very fun experience. Because they said, like, we could use whatever workout equipment we wanted. So I rode the assault bike for a bit. And it was fun because it was harder than I thought it would be, but also easier than I thought it would be. Easier in terms of, like, being able to keep going. Like, because I just did intervals. Like, it was an interval workout, so I did 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for, I think, 40 minutes. And yeah, the initial bit of it is like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna die. But then once you get into that interval rhythm, it actually becomes pretty fun. And the 40 minutes actually went by pretty quick. So, yeah. So yeah, it's been a busy weekend. But now, it's all good because I get to share this time with you guys. So, we've got our stuff together there. We've got our brushes. Which I wonder if I should put my brushes up here next to the camera. Nah, I don't trust myself. I'm sometimes a little too clumsy to be doing that. And we got our old rag that we can clean the brushes off with. And yeah, I think, let's see if I can brighten this up a bit. Hopefully that doesn't make things too bright or washed out. But I think we'll be okay. If it does, I'll just close the window again. Alright. So, to start out with, we're going to finish off this van. And then we're going to do the something down here before we finish off the rest of the details in this part of the painting. So I'm going to get my flat brush. But yeah, I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. And where's my skinny brush? There's a couple of them. We'll grab two, just so we can work on twice as many details. And I am going to pull this computer a little closer and pull the camera a little closer while we work on these details. There we go. Get all nice and cozy. Alright. And you might be wondering, TJ or Soul Commodore, is it advisable to be wearing white while you're painting? And the answer is no. But I do it anyway because it's a nice sweater, it's a warm sweater. And it's actually kind of cool in here today. And I like to live dangerously. So, we've got our brushes here. So I'm going to just throw them over here. I'm going to grab my... okay, they're just going to roll off my laptop. That's fine. I can grab my other laptop and bring up the reference image. Because again, unprepared. Although to be fair, technical difficulties kind of didn't help things, but it's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it together. Yeah, no, for some reason my camera wouldn't connect with OBS this morning. Which is why there was a bit of a longer delay in getting this together, but that's all right. Okay. Here we go. Now, I think the first thing we're going to do with this van is we're going to finish up the wheels. I think that's our first order of business. So we're going to do that. So we'll get some paint on these tires, differentiate them from the actual wheel well. Just like so. We'll do a bit more of a highlight here. Just a bit though. Just so we can tell what part is the tire and what part is the wheel well. That's one of the most important things and one of the harder things to do, I find, with painting a dark area within a dark area, is making sure that it's very evident where one area ends and another begins. Now, with that being said, once we actually paint the rim, it'll be that much easier to figure out. Now, I'm going to introduce some white and a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, and some more white. We're going to do like a light brownish gray, very light brownish gray, just to start doing the rim. So first order of business is just marking out where the rim actually is in relation to the tire. Just like so. Just going to bring this closer. We'll get real cozy. There we go. That's better. We'll introduce a little more white. Now, obviously the rim isn't going to stay looking like this, but like I said, I'm just kind of defining edges here, defining where the rim actually is going to be. We'll grab a finer brush and really start to clean up these edges. Just like so. I'll probably turn up this music a little bit. There we go. Let me know in the chat if the music's too loud. There we go. That looks pretty good. So. Now we get to start painting in a few details to really make this thing look realistic. So, first things first, we're going to paint some shadows. Just around the inside. Oh, need it to be a little bit darker. Yo, Sputnik Cloud, what's up? What's happening? Hope you're having a good day. All right, so now we're going to start painting in some of the sections of this hubcap here. I think I need a bit of a stiffer brush for this. This brush is pretty loose, pretty soft. Yeah, let me get a stiffer brush here with stiffer bristles. That's a little better. There we go. And there we go. And now in the center. Yeah. Now, this is fine because it looks like a hubcap, right? And if we left it there, everyone looking at it would be like, okay, yeah, it's a hubcap. But now we have to start introducing some shadows and highlights to actually get the dimensional aspect of the hubcap. So that's what we're gonna start working on now. So let me go put this brush back in the water. There's our other one. The music should loop, but if it doesn't, I will fix that. Come on now, you gonna loop for us, or? Nope, it's not gonna loop for us. Interesting. There we go. Okay, so this hubcap is extremely rusty. Based on the reference image that I took, it's a very rusty hubcap. So we're going to add in some of those elements. So we'll grab some red and some yellow and a little bit of black. Get a nice rust color in there. And a tiny little bit of white just to wash it out a little. And now we will just start to add... Actually, before we do the rust, now I'm thinking about it, we should add more of the highlights and all that kind of stuff. Like I said I was going to do. So we'll start with that first. Yo, Zelshot, what's up? You will see. You will see. It's a little tease for later on. How's your day going? I didn't want this white to overlap on the shadow we had already painted, but sometimes it'd be doing that, so we'll just get rid of it. You know, sometimes paint doesn't behave, so you gotta show it who's boss. Yeah, right now we're just adding some dimension to this hubcap. See if I can zoom in a little more on that. It's gonna let me. Actually, let me. I might have a solution. I want to try and zoom this in because this is a lot of like really small, tight brushwork, so. Did that work at all? Not at all. What if I bring it here? Sorry, excuse my fingers while we try to figure this out. Okay, so there's that. And then if I prop it up on some of these. Raise this camera up a little bit higher Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And otherwise, bear with me. There we go, that's better. That's the height I want. In just a couple of minutes, I'm actually gonna take a quick break, grab a snack, because I haven't really eaten yet today. And then during that, like, I'll run a quick ad, and then we'll get right back to painting. That'll be in another minute or so. In the meantime, we'll just finish with that. We'll darken this back up where it kind of bled over. Just like so. There. All right, so I'm very zoomed in here, so I'm gonna take a quick break, just go grab a snack, and then in a minute we will be right back. All right, so just be patient. All right, we're back. Thank you for your patience. All right. Yo, Zell, if you're still here, applause to you once again, my friend, for your your castle shenanigans in Breath of the Wild the other day. That was extremely impressive. For those of you who don't know, Zell is playing through Breath of the Wild for the first time. And he decided to take on Hyrule Castle with 3 hearts because he wanted to get some shields. And he went in there and defeated a Lionel, which I feel Lionels are actually the most difficult enemy in the game. It took him a few tries, but he defeated a Lionel and then decided to go on and, you know, try to beat Ganon. And he defeated like the first 4 iterations of Ganon, and then took on the real Ganon fight, and while he ended up losing in the end, it was still extremely impressive and a really fun watch. And actually, I should just while I'm here, Wrong thing. There we go. Let me actually click on the chat. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we'll give a shout out to Zell because he's a cool dude, and he was certainly playing like a pro gamer yesterday. Very, very impressive. And he's funny, and he's got cool sound effects, and he interacts with his chat a lot, which is really cool to see. It's a really cool community over there, so you should go check him out. I should also update my shout-out text, so it's not so generic. So we're just gonna keep working on the shadows here. Adding some dimensionality to this hubcap. Just continually blending. That's better. And there we go. All right, so we've got a lot of the dimension figured out with this particular hubcap. There's still a few things to do. For instance, like the outer rim of the hubcap is actually in two pieces. What I mean by that is there's like a ridge in between the outer and inner rim. So we'll just introduce a little bit of shadow to highlight that. And that will also come through when we actually put the rust in, because this is going to be a very rusty hubcap. As you will see in a second. But what are you guys' plans for the day? I know me, once this stream's over, I'm going to do a bit of cleaning. I got to put some stuff away from the house and dog sitting that we were doing. You know, like clothes and some food containers that we brought. All that kind of stuff. And then I might relax, watch a little bit of football. Then later on in the day I might do some more painting off camera. Okay. Here we go. Alright, so we got this pretty much figured out in terms of the dimensions and the base color. So now it's time to add some rust, because like I said, this is going to be a very rusty hubcap. The whole idea is that this van has been sitting here for a while. highlight on the wheel itself. Or on the tire, I should say. Just once again to add it give some highlight to add dimension, because when you're painting in a realistic manner, you want to try and not have things look flat. You want to give things some dimension. You know, that helps with the realism of it. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our yellow, red, black and white concoction, the rust color. Add a little bit of white in there. And now we're going to add some spots of rust. Okay. Like I said, we really want to sell the idea that this van has been sitting here for a good long while. All right, this is looking pretty good. Here we go. And we're just going to finish off with putting in just a few areas of white or a lighter color. Just to finish things off. There. So that's one hubcap done. So I'll bring you guys, I'm going to zoom out first. Then I'll bring this in. So if my phone cord will let me, Okay, it won't. So I'll just zoom in manually. So there's our finished hubcap on the front with the tire that is clearly flat. So we'll zoom back out. Camera back. And then we're gonna focus on this tire here, which is gonna be a similar setup, but slightly different in terms of our approach, because it looks different than the front hubcap. Just before I do that though, just a little bit of a highlight to the front of this wheel, and then add the second wheel in behind it. Because in the reference photo, you can see just a little bit of the second wheel over on the other side, or tire, I guess I should say. More grass and stuff growing up around this truck. Because again, it's been here for a while. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go grab another brush, and we're gonna do the back wheel this time. And this one is gonna be a drastically different color, because this hub is completely rusty. Completely rusted out. First things first is we're going to better define the edges of this wheel. I'm going to grab another piece of candy. There we go. Now I'm just kind of evening things out. because this whole area of the wheel well and all down here is going to be the same black. You're going to be able to see some of the axle and then the other wheel behind it. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now with some of the edges of this wheel better defined, again, I keep saying wheel when I mean tire. I'll get it together one of these days. But now with this tire a little bit better defined, now we can go in and start filling in where the hub is going to be. And again, like I said, this one is very, very rusty. So we're going to need a lot of red, a lot of yellow, a little black, and a little white. Get that nice brown rust color. And we'll kind of make it more orange as we go. But for now, I just want to make sure that we're matching up pretty good with our front tire. There we go, I think that's a pretty good size. Just gotta reach behind me for my other brush. There we go. There we go. Yeah, but that's it's pretty good sizing, I think. So now we will start by lightening up some of those areas in there with a bit of a brighter rust color using our smaller brush. So just like that. we go. And again, I'm just filling this in kind of random, just to make it a little bit easier for myself when I go in and add the highlights and lowlights later. Now, I'm going to grab some black. We're going to fill the middle of this space. Now, because this, like you've seen the backs of trucks and vans like this, the back wheel is always more inset than the front one. Like the front one, the hub comes out, and in the back one, the hub goes in. So that's what we're doing here. Well, attempting to do here. Word is out on if it's actually gonna end up looking all right, but we're gonna try. There we go. Okay, and then lighten that up a little so that we can actually put the axle in the center of the hub. There we go. And now, paint some highlights around the edge in the midst of this rust. I don't know what it is about this particular song, but it always makes me feel some type of way. Okay. I just need to wash off this tiny brush real quick, because I need to use white, but there's just a little bit too much pigment from the other paints on it. Now we can grab some white and come back in here. I'll fix that in just a second. Now I just want to get these other white highlights on here. There actually aren't too many like white highlights on this particular hub. Now we can go back in with some black and we'll mix it a bit with that rust color from before. Need to whiten that a little bit. There we go. Need a little bit more. But that's the nature of detail work like this. It tends to be a little more finicky than the previous stuff. Darken that up some. It's looking pretty good, actually. gonna just get a nice mid-tone in here. To kind of blend this light and dark together. Right in this area. There we go. And that's our back hubcap. Let's see if I can zoom in on that some. There we go. Yeah, so there's our rear hubcap. And there's our, get my elbow out of the way. There's the front one. There we go. I'll zoom all the way out. Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Zell. I'm glad you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. It's just a lot of practice. A lot of practice. All right. So let's get that angled. I zoomed all the way up. There we go. Thank you. That actually comes from an old teacher of mine from high school who always said to me, you know, shout outs to Mrs. Snyder, always said, you know, draw what you see and not what you think you see. Because there's a lot of people who, you know, your brain likes to think it knows what things look like. So when you're working from a reference image like I do, it's really easy to try to fill in the gaps with what you think something should look like. And it's really hard to kind of like divorce yourself from that and be like, no, what does this actually look like? So I'm glad that you feel that that's coming across, because it's always a struggle. So now we're just gonna do a few highlights on this wheel that I forgot to do while I was all zoomed in. Just again to add some dimension to it. Give the impression that it's actually round and it's not just flat. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words, Zell. I'm very happy that it's coming across as realistic. Alright, we need just a little bit more up here. There we go. And then we need to add a little bit of these soft highlights under the carriage on like a cross brace on the axle, so we can see that the two wheels are actually conjoined on this axle. So do that a little bit better. There's not much that I gotta do down here, just a little bit of a highlight so that it looks like something's down here. Nothing too crazy or fancy. There we go. All right. So, let me look at my reference image again. Because our next step is going to be to tackle the front of the truck. But I'm kind of I'm not all trucked out, but I think we're just going to leave the truck for now. And we're going to start working on this mysterious water. As I grab another piece of candy. That's going to be down here. So I'm going to angle the camera a bit. If it will cooperate. There we go. We're going to be working down in this area. Okay. So, we need a more medium-sized brush. There we go. We'll wash that off. Oh. So sometimes what'll happen when you're cleaning a brush, if you're a little too vigorous with it, sometimes you can actually pull the head of the brush off of the handle. So if that happens, just stick it back on. Sometimes that happens if your brush has been sitting in water for too long on a consistent basis. Sometimes it's just the brushes are old. Mine is a bit of a combination of the both. So if that happens, just invest in some super glue or some epoxy and just glue them back together. And it shouldn't happen again. There we go. All right. So, like I said, we're going to be working down in this area. Now, what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to paint a little bit of a puddle. Now, I don't actually have a reference image for a puddle. So, I have to rely on my old friend Google Images just to see what it is that we're going to be doing. Just to give a good idea of what this will look like. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, okay. Because I had an idea of what I wanted this puddle to look like, but I just wanted to confirm that it's actually what puddles look like on pavement. So, come down here to this area. Actually, we'll start it here, and we'll incorporate some of this into the puddle as well. So first things first is we gotta kind of grab a color that will match the sky. We'll kind of just start defining the outline of this puddle. Please don't mind my face. I'm just sucking on candy right now. That's a little too much paint on the brush. Okay. So with this here now, we've kind of defined where our puddle is going to be. And then this is just to extend the wet effect a little bit. There we go. Maybe I should make that a little bit bigger, actually. We'll extend it over here too. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. I think that's better. Cool. Alrighty. So now we're going to introduce a little bit more of this yellow color into this stand. And then we're going to like sort of extend that into the puddle a bit. And then we're going to do something hopefully a little bit fun. So, we've got that on our brush now. And actually I'm going to get a smaller brush because this is going to be a little bit finer brush work. So where's my smaller flathead? There it is. Ugh. So we're gonna grab that color again, get it on our brush. We're gonna mix it with a little bit of white and a little bit of black to kind of gray it out a little bit. because it is in a puddle. There we go. And we're just going to mimic some of this color from the stand in the reflection down here. Just a little bit. Oop. Need to make that a little more gray. All right. So now, what do we want to do? What we want to do is look at our reference image again. Grab some white paint. Just come through here again. I'm gonna add a few markers, like just little pebbles and stuff around the edge of this puddle, just to show that it is a puddle. Might need a smaller brush for that, actually. There we go. We'll gray that out a little bit, actually. We'll make it so dark. There we go. And now, this is another one where I'm going to have to search this. So bear with me a moment. Now comes the fun part. This is where, Zell, if you're still here, you get to find out what's in the water. Because we got our puddle here. Yo, Jake, thank you for the lurk. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you for the lurk, I appreciate it. I'm sorry I missed the rest of your stream. It took longer to get home from where we were house sitting than I thought it would. But by the time I got home, your stream was over, so I hope it was a good stream. Hope the rest of it went well. Okay, so one thing you'll notice about me the more you watch me do these streams is you can generally tell when I really, really like something that I'm doing, because I'll just start giggling to myself. This is one of those times. And a lot of times it'll happen because like I'll try something, like I'll experiment, not knowing whether or not I can actually do it, and then I'll be pulling it off and it's like, yo, all right, let's go. And this is one of those times. Black in there. Now let me we're doing upside down strats right now. Only serious artists use this strat when they're painting. So we got that. And then in this area over here, we're gonna I forgot that there were ads. So an ad just ran, I guess, a couple of minutes ago without me realizing. Whoops. Well, I don't think you guys missed too much. But what we're going to do now is just paint this in. Quite sure how that looks, but if it doesn't look great, we'll fix it later. Okay. So now I'm going to grab a little bit more white paint. And we're going to ripple that a little bit, so that it's still very clearly a pair of legs, but we're less sure about let me get some excess paint off of here. Sorry, I kind of cut myself off in mid-sentence there. We're going to do some, just sort of like some white paint across here so that it's clear, still clear that there's a pair of legs in this puddle, a reflection of a pair of legs in this puddle, but it still looks like a puddle, you know. There we go. So I'm just gonna go across the room here because I like to look at stuff from a distance to make sure that it looks okay. So I will be right back. I'm just over here. Have to climb over my bed. Yeah. That's good stuff. All right. Good. Because my goal with that is to be like, there's clearly a reflection of a pair of legs in this puddle, but who do they belong to? Who knows? But that's all right. So I'm gonna clean off this brush, and now we'll go back to working on the van a little bit. So I'll move the camera. We'll come back up to the van. And we'll clean off this brush. Actually, we'll work with the small brushes this time. So we'll grab those up because we're going to do a bunch of like fine details here, and on the front. And finish off this van other than the logo. I still have to figure out what I'm going to do for the business that's actually on the van. Also, I think for some reason the music just does not want to loop today. There we go. Even though I told it to. Just it's being stubborn. Alright. So we got our small brushes. And we got a piece of candy. Let's paint some stuff on the front of this van, shall we? First order of business is a little reflector right here at the front. Go. And then we'll actually put the reflective material in there. Make a nice orange. Like so. And now move on to the very front. So we'll do the bumper first. if I can... Actually, no. No, I'm not gonna mess with that right now. Darken that up a bit. Do some more. That's the bumper. Now we move on to the front of the truck itself. onto the hood. And the hood, because it's reflective, is going to actually reflect some of the colors that are in the background here. Not to a huge extent, like most of it's just going to look gray, but there are going to be bits and pieces that do end up showing through. Grab another brush and we'll paint in something like just straight up white to kind of offset some of these things that we painted earlier. And we'll probably abstract the front of this truck just a little bit as we go further. But that'll be a conversation for another time. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking up another reference image, or taking a closer look at the reference image that we have, just to make sure I don't mess this thing up. I was on my way to screwing it up, but thankfully I didn't. I stopped just in time. Okay. Painting a really thin line here on the border of the windshield. Trying not to thicken it up too much. There we go. So that's one. It's way too thick. Cover that up. There we go. It's very hard. It's very tricky making sure that you've got like an even line when you're working this small. The end result is worth it, but it's low-key kind of stressful. Obviously not the most stressful thing in the world, but okay. Now we just got one more. So we don't have to do too much with this one. Because it kind of just fades off the edge there. Which is kind of nice. Because it means we don't got to worry about it. Last thing to do on the front of this truck is a few last highlights. Oops. Trying not to paint over something that's in the foreground. There we go. All right. Then we'll get as much of that paint off the brush as possible. Then we'll get a nice orange together for the lights on top here. There we go. All right. So with that, all the details on the front of the truck are, I think, pretty much done. Which is nice. Now, next time we get together, I might go in and clean some of that stuff up, but for now, that's looking pretty good. So let me back you guys up so that you can see more of the painting as a whole. Yeah, and that's what we've got so far. We finished up a lot of the details on the truck, doing the rims here, doing details on the front, which again I might go back and clean some of this stuff up later if I don't decide to just abstract over it, because that's also an option. And we put ourselves a little puddle here with a little mystery man whose reflection we see, but there's no one standing here, so what's that all about? We'll find out next time. Not. I don't know what that's about, but you'll have to come up with that on your own. So with that, I think we're gonna call it a day here. Yeah. I think we can call it a day. So thank you again for watching. We're going to be back here on Tuesday, same time as usual, Tuesday and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, UTC 5, in case you're watching from abroad. Yeah, so Tuesday at 6, we'll be back working on this again. It's kind of nice. The last couple of paintings I've done on stream have taken a while, which is nice, because you get to see the progression. There were a couple that like a couple of my first ones that yes, Zell, you did find out about the water. I told you. But yeah, the first couple of streams I did, the paintings actually went pretty quick. I like that these last two have lasted over a couple of different streams now, which is nice. So yeah, next time we'll get back to working on this. We'll probably finish this light pole, do some details on the buildings. We'll figure out this logo situation, and then we'll get to abstracting the rest of the painting in the way that we want to. So, oh yeah, no worries, man. No worries at all. I'm just glad that you took the time out to check out the stream. I always appreciate when you guys show up. So, thank you again, everybody, for coming and watching. And yeah, we will see you on Tuesday, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.